Hello everyone. Today we are going to study about the high electron mobility transistor. So the high electron mobility transistor was first developed by Takashi Mimura in Japan. So they are faced several issues along the way. So these high electron mobility transistors are having various applications. So those are used in low noise amplifiers, and they are also used for radio telescope and space military applications. So let us study about the high electron mobility transistor. The high electron mobility transistor is just like a field effect transistor. So but here the only difference is it is having the heterojunction. The heterojunction is nothing but the junction which is having the dissimilarities. That means here the junction is formed in between the different band gap materials. So the high electron mobility transistor is a type of field effect transistor, and it is used to offer a combination of low noise figure, very high levels of performance, and it is used at microwave frequencies. This is important device for high speed, high frequency digital circuits and microwave circuits, and this is having the low noise. So it is also used for the low noise applications. So the applications include computing and telecommunications, instrumentation, and these devices are also used in RF design where the high frequency performance is required. So first we will study about the high electron mobility transistor. So mobility is the high electron, the mobility is the movement of electrons. So how fastly the electron is moving. So the most common materials used in the construction of high electron mobility transistor are gallium arsenide, aluminum gallium arsenide, and so here the gallium arsenide is generally used because it provides high level of basic electron mobility. So the electron mobility in gallium arsenide material is very high. That's why in the construction of high electron mobility transistor we are using the gallium arsenide instead of germanium and silicon. So this is the structure of the high electron mobility transistor. So in the base we are using the semi insulating gallium arsenide substrate. So in place of substrate we are using the semi insulating gallium arsenide material and undoped, and after that we are using gallium arsenide as the buffer. These are the undoped materials and this is the doping material. Here the doping is nothing but adding some type of impurities to the pure semiconductor material. So in the bottom we are using the semi-insulating gallium arsenide substrate. So the band gap of this material is different when compared with the undoped gallium arsenide buffer. So in the bottom we are using semi-insulating gallium arsenide, after that undoped gallium arsenide buffer and undoped aluminum gallium arsenide spacer, and after that N plus aluminum gallium arsenide. So in place of source, gate and drain, these are the three terminals of the MOSFET. So in place of source we are using N plus gallium arsenide, here also N plus gallium arsenide. So here the junction is formed here, and the junction is formed between the different doping materials. So let us understand the concept by using the energy band diagram. So this is, for example, let us say the junction is formed between the junction is formed between the two different band gap materials. So this, let us say this is the some gallium arsenide material which is doped gallium arsenide material, and this is undoping gallium arsenide material. So for the doped material, so this is the vacuum level. These levels indicates the vacuum level, and here we are having the conduction band and the valence band, and this dotted line indicates the Fermi level energy. So for doping material the Fermi level is nearer to the conduction band, and for the undoped material the Fermi level is center of the valence band and the conduction band. So this is the undoped material and this is the doped material. For doped material, the conduction band is near to the the Fermi level is near to the conduction band, and for the undoped material, the Fermi level is in between the conduction band and the valence band. So here the junction is formed under equilibrium condition. Under equilibrium condition, these two Fermi levels are at same level. So in order to obtain that, the electrons moves in this direction, and this is the junction. This straight line indicates the junction, and it will go to this level. So if you observe, so in this way the two-dimensional electron gas is formed. So here the electrons are confined on the low doped side but in very high concentration. So whenever you are having the low doped material, in that material the electrons are highly concentrated. They are having the high concentration. So we get the benefit of low doping, which is high mobility without sacrificing the density of carriers. So the electrons are confined in one space dimension so that their density is easily controlled. This results in very high gain, high speed transistors. Those are called as the high electron mobility transistor. So under the equilibrium condition, these two Fermi levels are like this at same place. So here the electrons are moved in this direction and they were formed here. So this is said to be the two-dimensional electron gas. So a potential, so at this place a potential well for electrons with very high density of electron states. So if you observe the construction, the construction is like this, and if you go for the operation, so the operation of the HEMT is the bit difference to other types of FET. As a result, it is able to give very much enhanced performance over the standard junction. So in FET, in normal FET or transistors, we are having the standard junctions. So there the electron mobility is normal, but here we are having the dissimilar junction. So due to that dissimilar junctions, the electron mobility is high, and due to this heterojunction format, it is used for the high gain applications. So whatever the electrons from the n-type region move through the crystal lattice and may remain close to the heterojunction. So these electrons in a layer that is only one layer thick, forming the two-dimensional gas electrons as shown in the figure. So in this way it will form the two-dimensional electrons, and within these regions the electrons are able to move freely. So because there are no other donor electrons or other items, so with which the electrons will collide, and the mobility of the electron in the gas is very high. So the bias voltage applied to the gate formed the Schottky barrier diode that is used to modulate the number of electrons in the channel, formed the 2D electron gas, and consecutively this will control the conductivity of the device. So here, unlike the other devices, the conductivity of the HEMT, that is high electron mobility transistor, will be controlled by the two-dimensional electron gas. So these two-dimensional electron gas is formed by the heterojunction. So and the width of the channel can be changed by the gate bias voltage. So this is all about the high mobility electron transistor. So here we are having the heterojunction. The heterojunction is due to the dissimilarity of the junctions. That means we are using the different doped materials at the junction. So due to that the two-dimensional electron gas is formed. So that due to that two-dimensional electron gas, the conductivity of the high mobility transistor will be varied, and the width will be changed by changing the gate material. So thank you. Hope you get some knowledge about the HEMT.